Nobody wants to see him anyway.
I want you to be comfortable, but
he doesn't
also,
even talk.
Blend into the background.
Don't worry.
Do you want to be forward? I'll be back.
I just want to be up in the business, you know?
Okay, fair enough.
Up in the business.
Up in this little hole right.
Stop.
I can't say it.
Stop.
Did you know that there's a group of summer campers, kids sitting next door, and they can see us on the screen?
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, kids.
I know.
Can they hear us? Make sure they don't
I
hear
know,
us.
that's what I said. All right, are we ready?
Yeah, are we already rolling?
Hold on.
Are we?
Are we rolling?
Wait. Mark, I have a joke for you.
We need the clip.
I have a joke for you.
No,
No, I don't want to hear your jokes, dude. They're probably very
It's
not
a good
politically correct. Oh, we're on.
We lost the clapping privilege.
Should I give him the joke?
There we go.
The joke?
The clapper.
No.
The light stayed on.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find.
All right.
All right, we're ready.
Go for it, David.
All right, guys, welcome back. So it's been a week since our first
Yes,
podcast,
it
new
has.
season, working out the wrinkles here in our new studio. Got great staff, producers, editors, directors helping us out. So shout out to you guys that
Great
we can't
feedback,
see
too.
behind these bright lights, but we thank you for being here. I want to jump right into market stats.
Yeah, let's do it.
If you Google real estate news, a lot of interesting things come up, right? And so depending on which website you go to, you can get, hey, sky's falling, or it's starting to shift, or market's still going up. But at the end of the day, we look at stats because the facts don't lie. And so right now, single-family homes, Santa Clara County, 1,398. So basically 1,400 single-family homes for sale, Santa Clara County, which is kind of where I think
It's been that way. Right.
800 pending.
I'm sorry, those are single family, not
Single
with
family.
condos. Okay,
Correct.
condos is probably another 400 or 500.
Condos, and stealing my thunder here.
Oh, sorry. Thought my shirt was doing that.
Right? I know.
Get on point. Come on,
I know.
man.
All right. 1,400 single-family homes, 800 pending.
Okay.
Month and a half worth of inventory.
Sure.
That's it. So not bad. No sky falling,
Right.
any of that stuff. Condos, townhomes, 600 on the market.
Okay.
596 to be precise.
Okay.
And 400 pending. So even less than a month and a half inventory
Right.
there.
Right.
So the one interesting takeaway in all of this is last 7 days, 223 properties have had price reductions.
Okay. That's
It's not
probably the
insignificant.
highest number for
it is the highest
10 years, probably.
Yeah,
I
that
would
we've
say.
been tracking. So
Right.
about 12 to 15% of total inventory is seeing a price
Fair enough.
reduction right now. But again, and I think Mark, you can speak to this with the experience that you have. It's not uncommon in a shifting market to we got to find that kind of footing.
Well, you said that's a 15 to 20% of the market, right? Of those price
12 to
reductions?
15%.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that there's probably that percentage of the agents that are not having the proper conversations with their sellers, where they're pricing the home where the last one sold 2 or 3 months ago, not realizing how significant this transition is, right? What's interesting, because like Ben, you've had several condos right now that we were a little unsure if they were going to fly off the shelf or not because of this transition. Sure enough, they sold in a second, right?
Yeah.
I think you have to look at as you're having those conversations to get those properties. So for one, I think, as you said, those stats speak for themselves. We're still very low inventory. We still have the activity. You just have to be more realistic where the pricing is.
Right.
I have a new listing coming on the market, and in general, if somebody just recently bought a property this year, you're probably going to sell it for less than what you paid for it. Would you agree? Okay. In this situation,
If you sell it within the next 3 to 4 years.
Fair enough. Right. In this situation, clients bought the house in January, off market.
Of this year.
January of this year. There's obviously this drive to make up their money. Now we know, I don't care up market or not, if you buy a piece of property, you go to sell it that same year, you're going to lose money probably because you're already going to have 5 to 6%, 6-7% in expenses to sell the thing, right? So in this case, where normally I would ensure that we priced it less than what they paid for, we have a certain dynamic happening where limited inventory happens to be in Los Gatos, downtown Los Gatos, so prime area. There is only 2 properties listed below $2 million. One is at 1398, which is on a 2,300 square foot lot, 800 square foot house,
tiny.
1 bedroom, 1 bath. And the other one's at 1998, same thing. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 900 square feet, and it's way up by Kennedy and Chance. So it's more of a mountain property, right? So we went ahead and felt that we could push the limits a little bit to try to help them out.
Recoup some of it.
Recoup it. So we listed at 1,749, which is about $100,000 more than they paid for. I'm again, who knows what's going to happen, but we just listed it today, so we'll see. My whole point with it is agents have to have the conversations. They have to realize what area they're in, and it's very going back to strategic pricing.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to interrupt here, I wish we had a stat for how many days property's been on the market, what the average days is right now. Because like you said,
I bet you David has that.
Well,
you're stealing his thunder again, man. Come on.
No, actually, I didn't bring that stat today, but you know what? That's a good one to start tracking because we were 7 to 11 days was kind of our average.
Yeah.
And I think that what we'll find is when we start looking at the June closings, you're probably 14 to 28.
Right. Well, and that's what I was bringing up too, because like you said, with the condo going off so quick, I feel like if you with the right conversation with the owner, if you price it properly and you stay below the average days on market, it puts that thought in buyers' heads who are formed in this market to know if it's over this amount of days you can offer less. Or
I will tell you, because this has come up in the conversation that on this listing that I have, is we have to stay ahead of the market, right? And what I did see in the days on the market is these smart agents who are kind of throwing out those numbers are quickly reacting to the feedback in the market.
Correct.
Right? What I mean is they're not waiting. If you wait 30 to 60 days to do a price reduction, you're chasing the market. You're behind the market, right? Whereas if you see those ones where after sometimes 10 days, 14, 3 weeks, 14 days, 3 weeks, if you do that price reduction, I don't think it sends a signal that it's a fire drill, we're getting rid of it. It's sending the message that the seller and the agent are being realistic with what they're hearing the market say.
Yeah, they're reacting to what the market's
doing. And I think if you do that, then you can try to stay ahead of the market instead of behind it. But you should always price it right to begin with. It's just in a transitional market, you don't always know where that list price is.
Well, and I think that's a good place to kind of pivot to talk about why it's transitioned.
Sure.
Over the last 6 months, interest rates have doubled.
Yeah.
And I know, Mark, you got some information on that, right?
And this is courtesy of Chuck Nunley. I got to give credit
to
where it's at. We were on a panel together, and he brought this. And basically, just to summarize, and I'll make a long story short, and we've doubled interest rates, right, in about 6 months. That alone, on $1 million loan, basically he has increased your mortgage payments by 40%.
Yeah.
40%. 40%. I mean, get your mind behind that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it goes from $1 million at 3.5% is a $4,400 payment.
With today's rates,
if you go at 6.5%, it goes to $6,286.
Yeah, that's almost $2,000 more a month. Which for most people, that $1 million mortgage is pretty entry level. That is a lifestyle change, right? You have to make some serious concessions if you're paying $2,000 more a month in mortgage. Yeah.
Which we know it runs downhill, right? That means the sellers have to be acknowledgeable of this too and react with it. Yeah. And again, I think that's where we look at different areas, right? If you're in Gilroy, Morgan Hill, or more the entry markets, you better take this into consideration. Yeah. If you're into those higher end markets where those individuals might be a little bit more resilient to the economic conditions, they have the money to still do it. They might be more, for them to spend an extra $2,000 a month, which is a lot to some people. It won't be a life-changing event to where they're not going to buy the house they want.
Right. And go ahead, G.
Some of my entry-level buyers are really getting affected with this. Like 2-3 months ago, we were pre-approved for $1 million, looking around. We're getting the houses that they wanted, and then because they took a few weeks to make that decision, the rates went up, and now they can afford $850, $900.
Yeah, and here's a good little hack that we've been sharing with our buyers. Say the house is $1 million, whatever it is. Let's go $1,010,000 and get a $10,000 credit from the seller to buy down the rate by a 0.5 percentage point.
That's a great idea, dude.
Yeah, if you're that rate sensitive right now, because $10,000 on a total mortgage means nothing from a payment perspective, but be able to use that $10,000 to buy down the rate a 0.5 point on $1 million mortgage, may save you $400, $500, $600 a month. And for an entry level buyer, that's a car payment or your medical insurance, groceries or gas right now.
Just make sure that whatever credit you ask for, you spend. Right?
Correct.
It's got to be up to that amount, not that amount sometimes.
Yeah, and that's why buying down the rate is a great way to use up that credit.
Right.
So I'm gonna, for all the entry level buyers that I'm working with, and people who are listening right now, and my generation and age group who are listening, who are getting kind of scared just with the way interest rates are going, especially after what you said, like how are we gonna afford this home? I think it honestly comes down to a game plan. You have to have a plan in life. It's easy right now to get caught up over how high the interest rates have gotten, but there's still different ways, like adjustable rate mortgages, which are 5, 7, 10 years. which you can still get a lower interest rate. And I have a seller right now who's selling, going to rebuy and then sell in 5 years, and his whole thought was, how are we going to re-enter this market at such high interest rates? Well, at the end of the day, if your plan is 5 years to be in the home and you're going to sell it and move somewhere else, why not take advantage of that adjustable rate mortgage? If you're my age and you're going for your first home and your goal is to be in that home for 5, 7, or 10 years, why not take advantage of that and then jump to the next one?
There's a great saying: marry the home, date the rate.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
Right?
Bing bong.
Because Mark's talked about it. We've all talked about this. If you find the home that works for you, your family, and your lifestyle, that's what you're committed to. Marry the home, date the rate. Interest rates are always going to go up and down. They always fluctuate. And to your point, Ben, adjustable rate mortgages are a great vehicle to get into those homes right now. To when you find the home that you love.
Yep.
And I think the rates are also bound to come down in the next 3, 4, 5 years, where you'll get an opportunity to refinance and get that lower rate.
I've got another great hack. This would be a good little separate segment that, Mark and I have been through a lot of different market cycles, and we'll tell you guys, you got to figure out where the opportunities are, right? And we love this kind of market because we tend to grow market share, because other agents are freaked out. So here's what I have, and I hope no real estate agents are listening to this.
They are.
Because here's what I'm working on right now. And just track with me.
We have 100 subscribers. I guarantee some of those are.
We have more than that. We have more than that.
More than that, Ben.
We have more than
Come on, buddy.
But track with me for a second. Since from 2015 to 2020, okay, so basically the last 7 years, 1,357 people in Santa Clara County bought a home with an FHA loan. Now,
interesting.
Now, let me tell you why that's important. Most of those FHA loans, the rates were in the high 2s, low 3s in that time period. Did you know, maybe you don't, FHA loans are assumable. So if a seller is selling a condo, townhome, house that has an FHA loan, your buyer can assume that loan through FHA and get a 3.5% or whatever that interest rate is. So
I did not know that, David.
So,
say that again. So an FHA loan is assumable. I think that's probably the only loan in today's market for the longest time.
For the most part, FHA, VA, and USDA loans, which we don't have USDA loans.
And they don't add any points to those. What the interest rate is
you
what is assumable.
Assume the loan. And get this, it gets better.
Holy Toledo.
Gets better.
That is insane.
Gets better. What if the buyer, so say the house is $1 million, the mortgage is $700,000. What if the buyer doesn't have $300,000 to put down to get to that $700,000? Well, guess what? FHA allows HELOCs behind it. So you can do you can assume the first loan at 3.5%, get you a HELOC for only $100K, which is going to be a high rate, but it's interest only. Payment's not going to be bad, and you can assume that FHA loan and get a 3.5% interest rate. So I am writing to all 1,357.
I was going to ask you. Okay, cool.
I
want to ask you where you got that database because we'll keep that to ourselves.
I have the list.
That is awesome.
And I have a campaign that's going out to all those FHA homeowners.
If you're considering selling.
I have an edge for you. It is an advantage that most agents don't understand. So again, going back to, we look for opportunities in our market for our clients, whether you're a buyer or seller. We're always on the leading edge of where the opportunities are.
Who you work with matters.
Which brings me to another great saying.
It's the David show. What are we even here for, man? Let's just go.
Transitions are just money.
This one's good. If you think all real estate agents are the same, then you probably never worked with a great agent. And that's really it, right? Because a lot of people commoditize what we do. Anybody can buy or sell a house, but you know what? Especially right now.
Yeah, on that side, I was just talking to an agent today about, why aren't you fearful of where this market's at? I'm excited about it. Times like this, David, you and I have been through these before. We actually, I don't mean this to sound bad, but we generate more business in times like this because, NAR, we might have said this in one of our podcasts before, state that there's going to be a 30% drop in membership, which means agents getting out of the business over the next 12 to 24 months. It just means that we have to be more advisors. Our technique in working with our clients, where we are the advisors, where we have we tell our clients not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's really what separates what we do from the other agents. And I welcome an environment like this. At some point, something's got to give.
Well, in an environment like this, so that's what makes it so important that you want an agent that's entrenched in, the everyday activities, which brings me to a point of getting calls. And I don't know, you guys probably get calls too from friends. People my age call me, I'm thinking about getting into real estate. Well, what do you want to do? Well, keep working and then be in real estate. Well, if you're not full time, what's the difference between, us?
Yeah.
Although I will say, if you're thinking about getting into real estate,
we have a great referral program. You can sign up right underneath us.
I don't care.
Ben's going for his profit share
chat.
chat.
now is the best time, because if you can survive through a transitioning
100%,
market,
100%,
right,
yeah.
then you're going to be fine.
But you have to be full 100% in. You can't.
100. Well, with
you know,
anything you do, right?
Yeah.
I always, it always means real estate's a fallback career, right? It's that whole thing. Good news, bad news in our area. Good news is you don't have to sell a lot of homes to make a lot of money. Bad news is you don't have to sell a lot of homes to make a lot of money. Because how many times we find those agents who sell 8 homes a year and they're God's gift, right? Because they're making their $200-300 grand.
They think they are.
They think they are, right? Compared to the agents who really have to grind to sell 50 homes in Ohio to make the same that our agents here do.
Exactly. Well, I love when a new agent comes in, sells 6 or 8 the first year, they think they're the shit, and then the next year, one deal.
Yeah, they ran through their family and friends real fast.
Yeah,
right?
burned all the bridges.
Exactly.
But,
all right.
Moving along?
Yeah, let's move on.
What else? I mean, I got more stuff, but you guys feel free to jump in.
I saw something about a California Dreamin' for All or something.
Yeah, all right.
What's
So,
that all about?
you know,
I want to go back to the David show, man. This is kind of
Can you talk about? We were talking about this at lunch. The assist program. Is that
yeah.
the Dreamin'?
Yeah, I can. All right.
Oh, there you go.
So we get a lot of calls.
Teed it up and it's going out of the park right now.
Yeah, you're like Draymond Green right now. Shout out to the Warriors. So a lot of people are asking right now, well, I hear there's down payment assistance programs available, right? The reality is very few of them are any good, very effective. Here's the latest one that people are calling me about. Our California legislative branch body is proposing to set aside $1 billion for down payment assistance.
California.
$1 billion, California, where they will lend, we'll talk about that in a second, 17% down towards the purchase of a home. Now, kind of interesting, if you run the numbers on it, so it's an equity share program, right? It's because they got to get their money back. They got to get their money back, right? So that means when you sell, they get their money back plus some percentage of equity. Yep. But here's the interesting thing about California and the prices of homes in our area. They're going to set aside $1 billion, and it is supposed to help only 8,000 families out of the 7 million renters in California.
Wow.
So again, nice program, good for those 8,000 families to become homeowners, but just a drop in the bucket.
So how do you apply for that? Like what qualifies
reach out to
you?
us.
There you go.
Well, I mean, like what would qualify you as a buyer?
What are the qualifications?
So it is primarily targeted low to moderate income buyers. So
which, by the way, what's low income in Santa Clara County?
Dude, for a family of 4, it's like $203,000. It's insane.
Tell that to somebody in Texas or something.
No, I know.
So David, I'm assuming that they do 17% because the buyer's got to come up with 3% to make it a full 20, or
yeah. Well, they're saying that in some instances it could cover the entire amount.
Really?
But remember, they still have to do closing costs and that sort of thing too.
Right,
but 17%, not insignificant.
I think there could be a win-win situation in that scenario, right? Where if there's a seller who might be stuck on a little bit of a price, because we know appraisals are going to continue to appraise for a while because how hefty they are over the last 3 months, right?
Correct.
So it could be a scenario where you got a house kind of sitting out there, the traditional buyer's not coming out for it, but somebody in this program might be able to give that benefit to the seller.
Yep.
As long as it financially makes sense for that buyer on there. So it could open up some doors.
And I don't mind an equity share if someone's going to lend me $200,000 to get in, or $100,000.
If it's the difference between living in a 1-bedroom shack compared to a 3-bedroom 2-bath.
What's the price? What's like the max price point that this is can?
Well, I'll tell you what. If
$3 million.
If our viewers are,
17%.
I think Ben needs to call David and have
I was just going to say, we're not going to dissect it all here, but if you want to talk about it, reach out to one of us.
It's very intriguing.
There you go.
We have great lenders. And then on the flip side of that, there are still a lot of California homeowners that were severely impacted by the pandemic.
Yeah.
They are behind on mortgage payments. They are behind on property taxes. Actually, I have a list of all the people in Santa Clara County that are behind on property taxes.
Mr. Database over here. Look at this.
No, so this is actually really interesting. For the last 5 years, when interest rates were low, if you were behind on your property taxes, you could cash out refi, pay off your property taxes, keep a low interest rate.
Right.
Can't do that anymore because rates are at 6.5%.
Right.
So there's about, I won't tell you how much, but there are several thousand homeowners in Santa Clara County that are behind on their property taxes.
Several thousand just in Santa Clara County. That is huge.
Several thousand.
Wow.
4,000 or 5,000. So, and a lot of those have missed more than one installment. The clock is now ticking for them. It takes a lot to force a sale based on property
Santa
taxes.
Clara County generally won't do that until it hits like 10 years or something.
But they need to have a plan.
Right.
So if you're behind on your property taxes, this actually may help you. So there is a program that I have written on the board there, which is...
You just told them our cheat sheet.
No, it's all right. So, and we'll actually have our folks put this on the screen as well. It's camortgagerelief.org. they are giving you up to $80,000 to help you pay for past due mortgage and $20,000 to help pay for property taxes.
Is that a grant, basically?
Yeah,
Or, okay.
it is a grant that you qualify for. You do not have to pay it back. It is free money. $80,000, a lot of money. Yeah, wow. So camortgagerelief.org. If you want more information on that, you can reach out to one of us, and we'll be happy to direct you that way as well. So
very cool.
I'm off my soapbox.
Awesome. So let's talk about some success stories that we've had. I know, Ben, in this climate where people are concerned about this transition and a seller saying, oh my God, is it really the right time to list? Am I still going to sell that property? And buyers, am I going to, should I wait? I know we've had some good successes. I mean, again, that condo, and that actually tell us about it, because didn't it sell for the highest amount? This was just last week.
Yeah, last week, second highest price point in the area, fastest sell in the area in the last year.
So for sellers, we're still seeing great activity.
We are seeing good activity, and I think if you have a motivated seller on board, it creates that next level of success because they're all involved with it. When you have those sellers who are skittish and overthinking things and rethinking things and not trusting the guidance of a professional real estate agent, I think that's where you start to see that shakiness. But when you have someone who's motivated and all in, it's so easy to take that energy. And
when did you list that property?
Listed on a Monday, got in contract on the Sunday after the open house?
Yeah, I think it was the next weekend.
Okay, so within a week, within 7 days, and we're talking about this just happened last week.
Yeah,
right? So
in June of 2022.
And we were very transparent with the pricing too. We didn't do anything crazy like price low and try and run it up or price over the top and see if we can just touch it. We price it very competitively.
Okay, so that's interesting, right? Because not too far long ago, we were listing pretty much where we thought that we would generate the multiple offers, right? To where listing price, and I think a lot of buyers still have this attitude, is list price still the starting point?
Well, you have to have a buyer's agent with you who can dissect that, look at the comps, and tell you whether it's a transparent price or something that's going to get run up.
One thing that I'm doing right now is calling the listing agent and finding out sellers' expectations because before we even go out there and show the property, if the seller's expecting more than the buyer's willing to pay, it's like, let's save everybody some time.
I think the other critical thing we do in talking to the listing agent, talk to the listing agent of the recent sales. I just did that on a property we're going to be listing soon, and I found out that even though this property sold for $500,000 over list price, that the offers on this example was they listed it for $1.89 million, $1.9 million, 23 offers on it, went for $2.4 million. However, the majority of all the offers came between 1.9 and 2.1, and one person went from 2.1 to 2.4. So when my client that were listing their house is like, oh, my house is worth 2.4, it's like, no, let's dissect this.
Let's look at the average.
Having that critical information of what that comp, what transpired with that comp, it could either hurt you, because if we took that without having that conversation, just listed for 2,199 to expect that same type of activity, we would be twisting in the wind completely, right? All right. Let's go. What else we got?
Done? I mean, I got one quick little success story too. This month in June 2022, we listed a townhome in Campbell. No offers, first open house weekend, right? I told my sellers, it's okay, right? Mark's taking a little bit longer. We hit day 12, get one offer over asking price. Yeah. So I mean, you just don't freak out in the beginning.
Well, and we also, as we talked last time, and I will get off our soapbox on all of this stuff, June and July is an interesting time because we have people focusing on graduations, 4th of July, vacations, all those things. So it's a matter of, again, the sky's not falling. Let's really analyze the situation, and every situation's different.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think August, September timeframe, I think will really give us a better trend line of where the rest of the year is going to take place. I don't think you can look at end of May and the month of June as any indication of future kind of market activity.
Right. Okay, I'm going to switch something here because I know we always talk real estate, all things real estate, right? Is what we do.
All right.
So let's let our viewers and listeners out there, who are we? What do we like to do outside of real estate? Ben, what's your hobby there, Ben?
I was literally just thinking we can tell them what places we like to eat because
okay, we can do that too.
I'm a big
D's in the house.
Big fanatic when it comes to food. Yeah, we went back to our sushi place.
So you like to eat? That's your hobby.
Yeah. I think that's most of our hobbies.
Love to eat.
It's definitely mine.
It keeps me less stressful. Speaking of stress, you want to hear something crazy? The Apple Watch notifies you when you need to breathe and relax. It's called the mindset.
Hey, I wear an Oura ring.
All right.
Does the same thing.
Yeah.
I can still wear a traditional watch.
It went off 12 times the other day. I wasn't even up for 12 hours.
I don't know.
It's a stressful business that we're in.
Do you know what I'm saying?
All right, so your hobby is to eat. What other hobbies do you do? I know you play softball, right?
Play softball, gym, eat.
All right, cool. There you go, David.
Life of a 27-year-old. You know, what are you gonna?
I didn't hear drink in there, but I know you drink too.
Yeah.
No. We stopped drinking 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Note it.
David, what do you do in your off
Yeah,
time?
I mean, obviously my wife and I love to travel. We got a gang of kids.
You just came back from Pismo.
Yeah, just
awesome.
in Pismo Beach with my mom and my nephew. But no, definitely travel when we can.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about working with a team, right, is that we're able to step away from time to time, and we have great resources in place.
Great point.
I can't tell you how much feedback I've gotten from clients over the last few months to be like, you and your team.
Yep.
They're never addressing me as like, David, you did great. It's always David, you and your team.
And on that point, we do have to give a shout out to our team. I know it's mostly centered around us in the sales side of it. We got a whole support staff. Yeah. Jessica, Taylor, CJ, Jacob, our whole property management division, all of them. I mean, one situation I just had was a client called me up, the one property I brought up earlier, they just bought in January. I was like, we need to move fast, and we didn't want to hit July 4th. Literally, I met these people on Wednesday last week. It's now Tuesday, right? Mm-hmm. We were able to get the papers out of the way, decide on the price, do inspections, stage the property, get photos, all within 48 hours, and here we're on the market today. Yeah. So definitely have that team environment. It's great, and it gives us the freedom to also have quality of life. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, we still do. In fact, if you ever have a slow time in business, go on vacation.
Yeah, that's when the phone starts to ring.
Yeah, exactly. Jeet, how about you?
I like to play soccer, go to the gym, eat good food as well, Indian food, love it. And I like traveling. I'm actually going to London end of the month. Yeah,
that's what we said. That's awesome. How long are you going to go for?
For 2 weeks.
And isn't it awesome that you have a team behind you that can help you with your business while you're gone?
Absolutely. And awesome. I can be rest assured that it's in, all my clients are in great hands.
Awesome.
Mark, what about you, Mr. Long Drive?
I know, right? That's it.
What do you like to
do? Golf, racing cars. Just came back from Laguna Seca without crashing my car on Saturday. That's blast of a time. And my kids and family.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know. So, shout out to my wife, Amber.
Well, now all of our spouses, Dee Dee, Lauren, Jeet's girlfriend for
shout out to her, Zeal.
There you go.
So Amber, as soon as our podcast comes out, she will get home from work and she will play it on her phone, full blast, while I'm like standing right next to her, and she'll constructively critique the whole thing.
She's our best critic.
She is. She's like, no, that doesn't work. Next time you need to do this. You talk too much. Why doesn't Ben talk? I haven't seen Jeet in 3 weeks.
I remember one of the first times you and I did something together was like, all right, you guys got to change your clothing or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You guys don't look formal enough.
We did a Facebook Live like a year and a half ago. So anyway, shout out to Amber, and next week we'll talk about Dee Dee.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. All right, with that going on, I think that's it. Hey, we're going to start bringing some guest speakers in here. We got a different setup going on next time. So you guys tune in. All things real estate.
And if you got questions, reach out to us.
Oh, one last thing. We have our movie night next Wednesday night. We're doing a premiere for Jurassic Dominion. So we have
Jurassic Dominion.
Jurassic Park. No, it's not Jurassic. Is it Jurassic Park Dominion?
I think so.
Whatever.
Jurassic World.
It's a scene. We rented the whole movie theater for you guys, our clients. Come on out. Limited seating.
Yep.
Make sure you sign up. And
that's it.
And who you work with matters.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care, guys.
Take care. Bye.
See ya.